So today, guys, we're going to be talking about hidden features and advanced settings on your iPhone. Okay, there's going to be a lot of settings that sometimes can be really useful, but people just aren't aware of because Apple doesn't do a very well job explaining or marketing them. Well,
Mhm.
that's why I'm here, but I'm not paid by Apple, unfortunately. Um, so so today we're gonna start off with an introduction on what advanced settings are and how we can use the hidden features. Number two, we have device settings, and we kind of explore the settings once we kind of understand the concept of what the hidden settings are. And then we will also explore advanced app settings. Okay. Okay, so wow. So the device settings, and then there's advanced app settings as well. So again, settings with the whole device and with specific Apple apps. And then we have a video demo that we will do once we get onto the breakout rooms. Okay, without further ado, let's move on to the introduction. So advanced settings are located within the iPhone settings app. Now, this is a big gear icon on your left. If you own a Mac like me, you're also gonna see a similar icon on your MacBook or iMac, where you can modify and adjust your device and app to fit your specific needs. With the most notable features being device settings and app settings. So again, there's settings that control your entire phone, and then you can also select individual apps. Similar to advanced settings, hidden features can also um, help for better customization of accessibility on your iPhone. And again, it's the whole thing about what works best for you because your iPhone or any phone, in fact, should be working for you and not against you. Um, no matter what your ability is. For example, I have like pretty low finger dexterity in my left hand, so I have set up my iPhone to work pretty darn well with just one hand. So there you go. And there's things for hearing, visual aids, all that stuff. So we'll explore all that. So first, we'll dive into the advanced device settings, which are basically hidden, but they control your entire device, and it's pretty useful if you know how to use it right. So here you can customize your security for accessing your phone. So for example, if I want an app to have like access of only one email, then I put that in again. So if I want FaceTime to only go through my American number, I remove my Canadian number from that list. So there's a lot of settings like that. And you can also change your Apple account settings, access information about your phone, like name and your iOS software version. Very big thing here. Other than your software version, you will see something called a serial number. Now, oftentimes when you call Apple support or when you have a professional look at your phone, they will need your serial number. It's a very long string of letters and numbers, but you will find it all there. I will show you. And then you can also update your iPhone, manage your notifications and privacy. Trust me, I have disabled half of my notifications. Only notifications that stay on are my inboxes and a couple of other apps. And I've seen this with a lot of seniors that they get a lot of junk notifications that they don't like. And if you're not interested in them, you can always just hide them for specific apps. For example, I don't want Facebook sending me notifications every single time my uncle's son um you know goes to a restaurant. Okay. You can also adjust things like your device's brightness, text size, speaker volume, and also vibrating alerts. We will focus on oh my god, we will focus on focus mode and voice control. Now, focus mode I use a lot because I am a high school student. So I've set it up in a way that I can, for example, when I arrive to the school location it detects that I'm in the school, and then it changes my wallpaper. It gives me a summary, a beautiful summary of all my emails. It's amazing. Voice control. A lot of my friends with like physical difficulties do use voice control, and I could say, "Open this app," and it opens it. But it's like Siri, but much better. But again, this controls all your phone, so we'll dive into it. So, what is a focus status? So, focus is a feature that filters out notifications and calls based on your status. You can turn a focus on or off manually in Control Center or schedule it to turn on automatically. You can notify people in your contacts of your focus status, like personal, driving, and work. So, this is immensely useful. This is very useful. Not only this, you're not just limited to notifications and calls being blocked, but you can also set up shortcuts based on your focus. For example, if I turn focus mode on right now, it has an automation that that again, as I said, changes my wallpaper, gives me a summary. Then I also tell it to open. I also tell it to again text like a specific person on like where they are, for example. Right? I have to do it a lot, and trust me, I got bored of it, so I just automated it. Um, so first, to set up focus status, you can start by accessing focus settings in the Settings app and tapping on something called Focus. And if you scroll in your Settings app, you'll find it. You could select the plus sign, which is on the top right, as you can see right here, and select Custom. Um, so you can again change the name and customize your focus. Choose which apps are allowed to send notifications during your focus, like calendars, events, or messages, and set a schedule for turning the focus on and off automatically. Yeah, see, schedule works really good because every single night at 10:30 p.m. I trust you. I do not sleep at 10:30. I sleep at like 2. So sometimes I need to change that setting, but every single time at 10:30 a.m. without fail, my entire screen dims and turns red. I've turned it red because red light kind of helps me sleep. So there it is. So you can set the schedule for turning the focus on and off automatically. Use the location settings to automatically turn on focus at a specific see this is what I was exactly talking about at a specific location. Let's say that you arrive for work, or let's say you arrive at the library. Sorry. Let's say if you go to a library, your phone will turn on library focus if you made one, and then recommend you the newest books. It can do that. Then there's something really useful called voice control. So, voice control is a feature. It's not known as Siri. It uses the same technology, but uses it in a very broad way. This is again very different from Siri, and it lets you use your voice to control your Apple device to do tasks such as navigate or interact with your device, access Spotlight search. Now, if you guys don't know what Spotlight search is, it's just when you swipe down to your app library and search for an app. That's They have a fancy name for everything, you know. Access long press menus, lock your device, wake up your device, like turn it on from sleep, interact with items on your screen, dictate and edit text, and perform gestures and button presses. So again, if I like I I actually made a very creative gesture with this. I turned on voice mode once, and then I said, um, I don't know if any one of you guys watched Mary Poppins, but supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, and it would just put in my password for me. It was really funny, but I had to turn it off just in case anyone tries that, which I probably think they won't. So you can set up the voice control by opening the settings app, going to accessibility, and then tapping voice control. You can turn voice control on or off using the control center. You can also use accessibility shortcuts. Or you can again use Siri. See, this is different from Siri, but Siri can turn it on and turn it off. So you could say, "Hey Siri, uh, turn on voice control. Or
Okay, voice control is now on.
oh wow, my just turned my voice control on. But or you could also say, "Hey Siri, turn off voice control," and I will turn it
Okay,
off.
voice control is now on.
See, it's
Voice
off.
control is already.
Thanks. Simply say a command to interact with your iPhone. For example, you could say, "Hey, open control center." It should work. And then if you say "Go home," it goes home. And then it says, and if I say tap the bottom right button, it'll tap the button. If I say turn up the volume, it will turn up the volume. So again, this is very useful. I recommend it to a lot of people, but a lot of people like to have like a lot of privacy, which I really respect. So your phone, unfortunately, under this mode, will be listening to you all the time. But if you're fine with that, if you're like saying, "Hey, you know what? I don't say anything weird. I'm a teenager. I say some things weird, so I can't really keep that on all the time. But hey, if you're just calm, you can turn it on, and it'll do stuff for you. So I recommend this to a lot of people that have difficulty with navigating a bunch of the new updates, this whole thing, right? And then we have app settings, so advanced app settings and features. So this is app specific, and there's settings that are hidden and they're in the settings app, but not they don't affect your entire device, but just an app. For example, if I go to messages and I say, "Hey, do not use my phone number. Use only my email address to send the messages to Apple users." And with Android users, I could just use my number, but only use my Canadian number. See, you can also specify that, and then you can manage the content. You can have privacy locations. I mean restrictions such as location, contact, camera, and microphone settings. Again, this is very important because oftentimes when you first download a new app and start it up for the first time, you may accidentally click no on some of the required permissions, and then you're freaking out because certain things on your app don't work and it's not letting you fix it. You're gonna have to go into settings and allow it under app settings. So this is a very important. It might be confusing at first, but it is genuinely a very important fix to learn. And once you get the hang of it, you should be doing it in a snap. So don't worry. You can also manage app shortcuts, making them easily accessible. Again, this is what I talked about. You can set limits to the amount of storage a certain app can take up. I don't know about limiting the certain app, but there are things such as if you go to WhatsApp's advanced settings, um, on the WhatsApp app, you can say, "Hey, don't make a backup on my messages." And again, I have a lot of family group chats, and they send a lot of images and videos, and they all take up storage on my phone. And before I know it, in around 5 months of family group chatting, my storage is full. So I hate when that happens. And so you can again limit it. I don't, because personally my dad gets angry because he sees that none of the photos are on my phone. Um, and then you can also create focus status when using certain apps. So if I launch an app, like if I launch Instagram, it puts it on, like I made a focus called social media protection, and that kind of tells me, "Hey, don't spend more than 30 minutes on this at once because it's gonna fry me." Because again, some people have good focus, some people have bad focus. That's all right. You can always improve it. So again, there's a lot of benefits of modifying device advanced settings and app settings as well, because it allows you to again modify your phone so that it doesn't work against you and it works in your favor, because everyone should have the right to the fruits of, again, the 21st century. And then you can customize it, make it your own. All the colors. I love having different wallpapers for different occasions. And then again, functionality. You know, if you're someone that unfortunately cannot get enough out of a $2,000 sometimes often $2,000 pocket machine. That's a bit disappointing, right? So again, I really hope that this could help you maximize your phones. So there are additional resources such as Apple Support, a more in-depth video tutorial. We will play it if you guys want it. We'll discuss that later. And then there's also articles. Apple Support is, again, Apple is known as the golden standard for accessibility. However, it's known as that golden standard because the bar is so low. So please do not hesitate to ask us, because sometimes what these Apple folks would do is just they would just they would just treat you like a checklist. So again, we as always are here to help you as cyber seniors. Thank you for listening. I really hope you guys enjoyed this presentation.